but you know, that's just a little bit of my song. The Meek shall inherit the hurt. And I want to talk a little bit about that today in the context of the larger series, the larger lecture series, which is Psychodynamic Processes as Cognitive Operations. And today we're talking about the defense mechanism of sublimation. It's a Freudian concept. And I want to demonstrate just how compatible that is with cognitive psychology. Of course, cognitive psychology of the Western variety involves an overemphasis on mechanical features, and that is because to arrive at cognitive theory, they studied the computer, which is embarrassingly ridiculous, because they formed a model of the human mind based on a computer which was designed by the human mind, so therefore that which created it must be larger and more complex than the product itself. But I digress. We're focusing on sublimation. Sublimation, as I mentioned, is a defense mechanism described by Freud, and it involves taking energy which might otherwise be applied in a destructive way, mostly libidinal energy, which could be anger, rage, lust, anything so overpowering that it has the ability to render one a slave. Well, instead of being a slave and responding with emotional reactivity or impulsivity or capricious behavior, it is possible to engage in sublimation, in which you take that dark energy, that negative energy, and you channel it into something positive and creative. And someone will try to take their negative energy and put it on you, and they will do that. A lot of aggressive people, a lot of bullies. That's why I came up with the idea of the song "The Meek Shall Inherit the Hurt," because I really do believe that we will, the meek will inherit the earth eventually, but it's up to us to take it back from the bullies of the world, and we do that through what is traditionally described as a psychodynamic phenomenon, but it's actually also a cognitive operation, because it involves the brain and the limbic system. When we are approached with someone's negative energy, we want to respond in kind. That activates the limbic system, that activates the amygdala, that activates the sympathetic nervous system. And so it's up to us as individuals to then find a way to reconnect with the cerebral cortex and with the parasympathetic nervous system and that's accomplished through sublimation, because for example, I'm actually a thriving survivor of bullying, and it started at a very young age in school. I was bullied throughout life, and as adults we find more interesting ways of bullying others. But I'm still to this day, subjected to, administrative bullying, which involves administrators using intimidation, diminishing you by implying that you're incompetent and that you're worthless, and implying that there's terrible things they could do to you to ruin your life. Those are ways that adults engage in bullying, even within the professional workplace. But what I did was I took that negative energy of somebody else's and their own power trip, and instead of letting it become my negative energy, I let it become my song, and I wrote "The Meek Shall Inherit the Hurt" as a way of taking that negative energy and channeling it. That would be an example of what Freud calls sublimation, what he calls the most productive of all defense mechanisms. And it is a defense mechanism, because you're handling the situation indirectly, but you're doing it in a way that produces positive, creative results. So that's it in a nutshell, no pun intended, but that is sublimation and the way that it can be correlated with cognitive psychology. I'm Dr. BLT. Thank you for listening to my music, and thank you for listening to my lectures. Thank you for being my fan. I'm going to do a little bit of swinging and singing now. See you later.